What's up guys, it's Perlin here, and for today's book I want to introduce you to Eat That Frog. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. Boom. So this book is about time management more than anything, and it's got 21 basic steps that you can follow to increase your productivity throughout your day. So it has different things like tackling the biggest task of the day first before you tackle any of the other things. That's what Eat That Frog is about. So you do the hardest thing first, and then everything else, all the tasks you have to do on your to-do list after that first thing will be easier. And so you'll be able to smash through them as the day progresses. And if you only get done one thing or two things during the day, it's important that you get done the things that are most important to your success in a certain area. So it has a bunch of different tips that you can use to be more productive. One of the tips is like, have the most important task that you need to get done the first on the list. So you do that first, and then you do the second most important and the third most important. And even if you don't get through the whole list of what you have to do for that day, you will have done the most important thing. So everything else doesn't really matter. So if you've got the top 1, 2, or 3 done and you haven't done the other 80%, it's still better than doing the 80% that doesn't really matter and not doing the 20% that does matter. Another tip from the book is break bigger tasks down into smaller chunks so it's easier to accomplish. So if you have a big task and you're like, oh, that's a big task, it's going to take a couple of hours, it's not going to be very fun to do, and it's just sort of this big daunting thing that you have to do, usually you put it off and you don't want to do it. So if you can break that task down into smaller chunks, then you're like, well, yeah, I can do this small chunk, that's not that hard. And then I can do this next chunk, and then so you can just do each chunk again and again, and then you get the task done in a relatively short amount of time rather than it just being this big overwhelming thing that you just put off for another day. Another tip is the ABCD method. So you write out your list of things to do, and then you label beside each of the tasks A, B, C, or D, and in the label of, A is most important, that you sort of need to get done. There's going to be consequences if you don't get it done. A B task is something that you should get done, but the consequences aren't that bad if they're not done or not. A C task is, it'll be nice to do, but it doesn't really matter whether it gets done or not. A D task is like delegate, so something you can delegate and not do. And then an E task is eliminate, so just eliminate the task altogether. That's just one more technique in this book. And as I said, this book has 21 techniques, and this book is thin. It's a thin book, it's a quick read, it's broken up into small chunks, so there's only a couple of pages to each technique, and you can easily just pick it up, apply something, pick it up a week later or a day later, apply something else. It's really good to go back to and reread if you're having trouble, if you're procrastinating, if you have trouble getting things done for that day. You can just quickly pick this up, read through a few tips, you're like, yep, that makes sense. And it just helps you out to do more things. Brian Tracy, he's always a classic in terms of time management and personal development and having very practical things that you can put into your daily life straight away without any preparation. You just read it and then you apply it. If you like this video, remember to subscribe down below for more videos that I put out, including travel, book reviews, travel ideas, and you'll get updated as soon as I publish them. Perlin here, signing out from Newcastle, Australia. Until next time, bye.